Well, hello back to my classroom. It's Mr. Arnold, and we are going to be talking about two kind of fun kind of things, but not kind of fun at the same time. We've kind of talked about before how these colonies are coming about and how they are kind of okay. We're coming to into the light basically, and one that we're going to kind of look back at. One of the first ones was Virginia. And right now, Virginia is growing really, really, really fast. There's a lot of people that want land, and so they're buying a lot of land and taking over from the Native Americans. Now the problem is all those big companies, all these people that have been there for a while, they have all the big and all the good land by the ocean. So it's pushing everyone inward, inland into America, but as well as into Native Americans' lands. And so, in order to kind of stop the conflict between Native Americans and Virginia, the government decides that, hey, we need to do something about this. So there's this dude, William Berkeley, and is around the 1640s. William Berkeley comes up with this idea that, hey, you know what? I tell you what, if we promise that we're not going to settle on your land anymore, just if we promise that, can you guys give us some of this land and then we'll be done? And so the Native Americans finally said, yeah, that's fine. We'll give you this large piece of land. And as long as you guys don't want to settle over here anymore, then we're good. Of course, if you give a mouse a cookie, it's going to ask for milk. So this obviously was not enough, so much so that there's going to be a rebellion because people want to go settle, and they can't settle where they want to settle. So the guy that kind of started all this revolution kind of thing and revolt is going to have to be a dude by the name of Nathaniel Bacon. Bacon really sounds good right now. But, anyways, he was a young, kind of wealthy farmer, and he kind of ran the west side of the government, West Virginia. It wasn't really West Virginia yet; it was just Virginia. But kind of really ran the western part of Virginia. Now what's going to happen is that him and a lot of the other Westerners are going to get together because they do not like the Virginia really and its leaders, for the most part because they were Easterners. Now if we think about this, the Westerners are people that probably don't have all the big land the Northerners have. And so they want more land, so they're going to push out. While the Northerners have all this land and say, no, 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 you can't do that. Part of the reason because they didn't want any competition. The big companies didn't want them to get some more land because then they have to basically have competition. They didn't like that. As well as didn't want them taking Native American land. Both of them were two kind of big reasons why they really didn't want to open up the West even anymore, because they did not want that competition and they didn't want to take Native Americans' lands. Now, the Westerners were not very fond of this whole new bill at all because it stopped them from expanding. It stopped them from making more money. If you make money, you always want to make more money. And the way to make more money there was make more land. So some settlers in the West even actually settled in Native American land. And then when they got raided by Native American tribes, they would blame Virginia and Jamestown, basically, because that was kind of the big capital, that they didn't support them with any military or anything, and say it's your fault for not supporting me even though I broke the rules. And so people started getting really, really upset. So in 1676, Bacon and several other of his following got together and kind of went and created this kind of rebellion, if you will. And they got together and went and slaughtered and killed tons of Native American villages, or Native Americans, and several Native American villages. This was their kind of way of saying, hey, this is our land. We're going to control you. You're not going to be able to dictate where we're going to go. Now, after they did that, they actually marched themselves, their little army, if you will. Army? Not really an army, but at the time it was. And they marched themselves all the way up to Jamestown, burnt it down. They also sent the dude, Mr. William Berkeley, the guy that made the whole law about the Native Americans and how they couldn't settle there, and actually chased him out and made him go into hiding because he was afraid for his life. Now, unfortunately for Bacon, he would get basically really, really, really ill all of a sudden, and it would lead to his death. If he wouldn't have got sick, he most likely would have been the new leader of Virginia. But he did get sick after his death. England basically said, "Hey, Berkeley, come on back. He's gone now. We're going to put a military there as well." And so this is going to be kind of your first kind of military enforcement from Britain. And people aren't going to like it. People are not going to like it when Britain's military over here telling them what they can and cannot do. So that's going to cause a lot of kind of tension. Now, this kind of showed that the Virginian people have power. I mean, they basically almost overthrew a government by themselves. And this would actually cause more and more of the creation of a militia in Virginia that would actually go and take out Native American villages and push them even further for expansion of Virginia, for the expansion of money, and for the happiness of Virginians. So that is kind of about Bacon's rebellion. Obviously, we're not really talking about Bacon, but if we were, I'd be eating it all, of course. I'm sorry if I made any of you guys hungry. But yeah, that's the Bacon's Rebellion and a little bit of expansion of Virginia. I'll see you next time.